Football fans, brace yourselves, because Brazil's dream of entering the World Cup with unstoppable momentum has just been shaken to its very core. For months, we kept hearing one confident statement again and again. Brazil doesn't need Neymar. With world-class talents across the squad and the legendary Carlo Ancelotti on the sidelines, the Seleção were expected to dominate, no matter who was missing. But all of those bold claims came crashing down in the most shocking way possible, against none other than Bolivia. Yes, you heard that right. Bolivia, a team fighting tooth and nail for survival, exposed every weakness in Ancelotti's Brazil. The match was not just a wake-up call. It was a reminder that even the giants of world football can stumble when arrogance takes over. The absence of Neymar, once dismissed as irrelevant, suddenly looked like the missing key that unlocked Brazil's downfall. Let's dive into the numbers. While Bolivia took a staggering 23 shots, Brazil managed only 10. And when it came to shots on target, the story gets even more embarrassing. Bolivia had 10, Brazil only 3. For a team built on attacking power, this is a statistic that screams failure. Fans who believed Neymar's creativity and playmaking were no longer necessary are now forced to admit the truth. Without him, Brazil's attack looked toothless. The attacking midfield, usually the heartbeat of Brazil's rhythm, was completely disconnected. Time and again, the Seleção failed to break down Bolivia's defense. Neymar Jr.'s absence was like a gaping hole in the middle of the pitch, and no one seemed capable of filling it. The reality is simple. Brazil didn't just lose a game, they lost their identity in attack. This defeat becomes even more worrying when we place it in context. Brazil has now played all 18 of their World Cup qualifiers. Out of those matches, they won only 8, lost 6, and drew 4. For the 5-time world champions, those numbers are far from convincing. Ending the qualification campaign with a loss not only dents their winning percentage, but also drags a wave of negativity into the squad, just when they should be building confidence for the World Cup. But wait, there's another side to this story. The match wasn't just about tactics and missing superstars. It was also about geography. The game was played at El Alto Municipal Stadium, located over 4,000 meters above sea level. The thin air and lack of oxygen make it one of the toughest venues in world football. Many visiting teams struggle there, and Brazil was no exception. Ancelotti's men were visibly gasping for breath, unable to maintain their usual tempo. Still, blaming the altitude alone would be unfair. After all, Bolivia faced the same conditions and managed to outplay Brazil. The truth lies in the combination of factors. No Neymar, a disjointed attack, and the brutal altitude test. Together, they formed a mountain Brazil simply could not climb. And this brings us to the million-dollar question. Is Neymar still needed in this team? For months, the narrative was clear. Carlo Ancelotti preferred to build his squad without him. Officially, Neymar was left out due to injury concerns. But the Brazilian superstar himself denied it, even playing a full 90 minutes for Santos shortly after. The mixed messages fueled speculation that the real reason was not physical, but personal. Behind the scenes, tensions between Ancelotti and Neymar have been growing. The Italian coach wants discipline, structure, and a collective system. Neymar, on the other hand, has always been Brazil's free spirit, the one who thrives on individual brilliance. Their visions of football don't always align. And now the whole world is watching to see if this Cold War will end before the World Cup. Because let's face it, Brazil is heading into the tournament with one burning ambition. Hexa, winning a 6th World Cup has been their dream for decades. Every tournament, fans chant Hexa, Hexa, with unmatched passion. But here's the hard truth. Without Neymar, and with an unsettled team under Ancelotti, that dream might slip further away. At this point, Brazil is experimenting, trying different lineups, shifting strategies, and searching for the perfect formula. But experiments can be risky, especially this late in the game. If the coach continues to exclude Neymar, he is taking a massive gamble. Because while Vinícius Júnior, Rodrygo, and other young stars are sensational talents, None of them carry the same creative spark that Neymar does when the team is desperate for a breakthrough. Fans are now asking, will Neymar return in time? Will Ancelotti swallow his pride and call him back for the World Cup squad? Or will the tension between coach and superstar leave Brazil vulnerable on the biggest stage of all? As of now, the answer remains uncertain. What we do know is this. Brazil's shocking defeat to Bolivia was not just another result. It was a warning. A warning that without balance, creativity, and unity, even the greatest footballing nation on earth can fall flat. So as the countdown to the World Cup continues, all eyes remain on one burning storyline, the Neymar dilemma. Will he be Brazil's savior once again, or will his absence mark the beginning of another failed campaign? One thing is for sure, the football world will be watching closely.